Hey everybody, welcome back to FSi DFS. McKinley 412. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. We're looking at the early slate only in this video. 5 games. Pay attention to the weather. I see 2 rain icons in there. I haven't looked at the weather myself, but it is something that you're going to want to be paying attention to as we get closer to lock. Recording this the night before, we do have 2 pitchers that are still to be determined. It's the St. Louis pitcher and the Tampa Bay pitcher. But just kind of in some readings, I really think it probably is going to be Hudson for St. Louis. Tampa Bay, maybe just kind of a bullpen game. But I don't know. But we'll just kind of go through every single other pitcher and then talk about the stacks and go from there. So, Yurias up at the top, 9.5K. One massive thing that we have to be paying attention to with Yurias this season is his home road splits. He has the most extreme home road splits of any pitcher in the majors so far this season. 6 games at home, 7 on the road, so it's not like a super small sample size. But you can see on the road he has an ERA close to 7. Not good. I did look at those 7 starts, and 2 of them he did pretty well. He had a 30-point DK effort in his last road start, and then his road start back in April. Also, very high up there, 28 DK points, but it was against San Francisco and the Mets, 2 of the most pitcher-friendly parks in the majors, and now he's going to Baltimore, Camden Yards, which is anything but pitcher-friendly. So I think he's probably going to be struggling in this matchup here, so I'm going to have a lot of interest in Baltimore. They're probably going to be my favorite GPP stack, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But you can kind of put 2 and 2 together as to why they're probably my favorite GPP stack moving forward. Bello for Boston. You're going to see real quick that there's not a whole lot of pitchers to like. Bello is like the one pitcher that I'm going to have a lot of interest in. He's going to be the first pitcher in my lineups here. He's almost turned into like Sandy Alcantara from, the past couple of seasons. He doesn't have a super high K rate, but he's got great control. He goes really deep into games, 7 innings routinely, and he doesn't allow a whole lot of runs. He has 14 consecutive starts with allowing 3 or fewer earned runs. That is fantastic. And like I said, he's consistently going 7 innings or longer, but he just doesn't have a super great K rate. So it's essentially what Sandy Alcantara has been doing for the past couple of seasons. But now it's Bello. Great matchup going up against Oakland. He's going to be my first pitcher in my lineups and the pitcher I have the most interest in. John Gray for Texas. Wow, what a wild ride he has been on. He was one of like the hottest pitchers in baseball towards the end of May into that heading into June. Capped it off with a complete game against St. Louis where he put up 41 DK points, 12 strikeouts. Ever since then, yikes, it has been disaster zone. You can kind of see what has been going on here. He's allowing a handful of runs, 4 more earned runs in 3 of his past 5. The walks are almost the same as the amount of strikeouts that he's been able to generate. And that right there should be like the biggest red flag. Like when you have just as many walks as you do strikeouts in 5 starts, that's concerning. And now you're going up against Tampa Bay, arguably the best offense in all of baseball. It's tough for me to have any type of confidence in Gray at this point. Can he do it? Absolutely. He has proven it, so far this season that he has the stuff, but he just doesn't have it right now. Even like the little break at the All-Star break wasn't enough for him to get back on track. He struggled even against Cleveland, where he allowed 2 home runs against the Cleveland side that just can't hit home runs in general. Alcantara, Miami, going up against St. Louis. I don't really know what to think about Alcantara at this point. Like, he's struggled. Like, let's just admit it. He's struggled all season long, essentially. It's kind of sad to see how much of a downfall he has been from last year. But 8.4K, like, I think it's a fine price tag. He's going up against St. Louis, a team where, on paper, yeah, this offense is incredible, and like they have had stretches this season where they have been a top offense, but they have had stretches where they've really disappointed. So if I really had to guess, I would, not have too much interest in Alcantara personally, but it is only a 5-game slate. There's not many pitching options, so you're going to have to get an SB2 from somewhere. Is he capable of going 6, maybe 7 innings, allowing 3 earned runs, and having 5-6 Ks? Yeah, I mean, if he gets you 15 DK points, I mean, it kind of is what it is. At this point, he hasn't really shown too much all season long. But again, you're going to need an SP2 somewhere, and you're going to see as I go through, there's just not a whole lot to like. Dean Kramer for Baltimore. Honestly, I might take him. I don't know. He's had a big home run issue as of late. You can kind of see what he's been doing. Like, if you take away the earned runs from home runs and the guys that were on base with those home runs, he's actually pitched extremely well. Like, he's got a great strikeout to walk ratio. He's limiting the hard contact, the hits, all that kind of stuff. It's just these home runs, and that's not the kind of pitcher you want to be playing when they're going up against the Dodgers. The Dodgers against right-handed pitching since the start of June, number 2 in ISO in the majors, number 4 in slugging percentage. Over the course of the season, they are down a little bit more, but it is concerning just with the amount of power that the Dodgers have in the small ballpark, going up against a pitcher that has struggled recently with the home runs. If he can limit them, though, like I said, he's got a great strikeout rate. He's able to control, limit the walks and everything, limit the other contact. I think he's a fine play. He's 10-4 for a reason. Part of that is because the offense is carrying him a lot. But no, he's been a pretty reliable pitcher throughout the course of the season, and you're going to have some interest in him there. Bialik for Houston going up against Colorado. It's just tough to like anybody, especially when they're playing in Coors Field. I don't know. He's fine. I really don't have too much of an opinion on him. I would say he also kind of falls into the category of like the John Gray or the past handful of starts where his walks are kind of matching his strikeouts as of late, which is slightly concerning. He's going up against Colorado. It's Coors Field. Unless you're an ace, unless you're Kershaw or whoever, I just don't have a lot of interest in guys pitching in Coors. Hudson against Miami, fine. I don't know if it's really Hudson pitching. Criswell, not really too interested in him at all because, it's going to be a Tampa Bay bullpen game, I think. Waldichuk, nope. And Gomber, absolutely not. So this is kind of where the sheet hangs out. But it's going to be Bello. By far, I think he's the number 1 pitcher on the entire slate. Followed by Kramer, Alcantara maybe. Don't really have an interest in Yurias or Bialik in Coors, fading these guys. And then Tampa Bay bullpen over. I'm not playing the Tampa Bay pitcher if he's only going to be going 2-3 innings. I'm just not going to be playing him. So maybe I should be putting them below Hudson here. But yeah. So top stacks, it's Houston. Houston in Coors Field going up against Gomber. You can pretty much play anybody in that lineup, essentially. Let's see what their prices are as I pull them up. Perfect there. So obviously you got the lefty on lefty with Tucker at $6K, but everybody else, it's very affordable. You're not going to run into any salary issues on this slate pretty much at all. Houston has a whole lot of right-handed bats in their lineup, which kind of boosts them even more, especially going up against lefty in Gomber. Boston facing off against Waldichuk. Waldichuk, if he is starting, he's not going to go super deep in the game, maybe only 4 innings. So they're going to see a lot of that Oakland bullpen, and they're going to be able to abuse them quite a bit. Tampa Bay facing off against John Gray. Like I said, he is really, really struggling with home runs, with control, just everything as of late. And now he's got the toughest offense in baseball facing off against him. Going to have a lot of interest in Tampa Bay there. Baltimore is my favorite GPP play. Now, Yurias, I don't put them as like a top play. I put him as GPP because Yurias is a solid pitcher. We know that. He is capable of having those solid games. He's 9.5 DK, 9.5 salary on DK for a reason. But it is Camden Yards. He really, really struggles on the road for whatever reason it is. And now he's in that non-pitcher friendly park. So I do think that Baltimore with their offensive capabilities is definitely going to be a team that I'm going to be paying attention to the most in GPP, followed by the Dodgers and then Colorado. Oakland's going to be a great leverage stack just because there's no pitchers that I'm interested in outside of Bello. I feel like quite a few people might see similar things as well. So it kind of leaves his ownership is going to be through the roof. So Oakland, they provide you with value. And, they're not they're not the worst offense in the league. I give that to Kansas City right now. And then cheap is Miami, but I just don't have a whole lot of interest in them just because they really don't have much upside. So again, like I said, there's not going to be much salary issues that you're going to have to paying attention to, but I would definitely start your lineups with Bello, and then you're going to be throwing in Houston, Boston, and Baltimore would be my top 3 stacks from there. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Good luck in your contest as always, and we will see you in the next video.